super excited. Thank you so much for inviting me here. I do not take this for granted. God bless you. I see my good sister here, Stato Singh. Good evening, ma. And my friend is here as well. Please, good evening.
Hi,
So good
Peace.
to have you. Thank
Welcome.
you.
Thank
So
you.
it's so good to have you. Thank you. Thank you for coming. And every other person, I'll get to know everybody. I know it's Sister Fumi, so I get to know you as I go along. All right, so that we just get into it. Tomorrow is school, like you rightly said. I just want to go into it. So I wanted to make this as possible. First, I will leave here. Okay. Housekeeping, you can interrupt me a bit. You can put a questions and I'll check in the comment section if you have any questions to ask. Sorry, please can you be fast? If you have any questions to ask, please just put in the comment section. As soon as I can, I would attend to them. So, but I made this slide as super easy as possible to digest. So today we're talking about understanding hair loss, hormonal changes, and simple ways to keep your hair strong and healthy. So my first question is, what kind of hair do you think you have? How is your hair? Like, what type of hair do you have? Many people don't know this question. So that's the first thing I want to ask you. What type of hair do you have? Is your hair straight? Is your hair curly? Is your hair... So I put on this, and you can see like there are 4 different types of women. And even in the straight, curly, wavy, curly, and coily, there's coily and there's coily. Curly and coily. Even in that, there are also different kind of textures to the hair. So do you understand your hair texture? So understanding this will also make you to know how to take care of your hair, because different texture requires different ways to take care of your hair. So I put this here to say, normal straight hair, if you're like me, that applied with relaxer to your hair, you have changed the natural texture of your hair from curly or curly to straight hair. And there's a type of maintenance that requires. So you see people trying to use product that is not for certain type of hair. Because it's working for this person doesn't mean that it will work for you. So you have to also understand your hair and the type of your hair that you have. So if you're following me, just say yes in the comment section so I know that I'm not alone. Like I said, knowing your hair type unlocks the secret to giving it the care it deserves at every stage. So now we're going to the different stages of the hair. Understanding different stages of hair growth. Our hair grows in different stages. As much as, yes, we have different types of hair, type 1, type A, type 2A, type 2B, and all of those ones, stretchy, coily, wavy, yes. But then all of us, our hair must go through different stages of growth. And the first stage that our hair goes through is called anagen. That's the growing phase. The second stage is called cantagene, and that's the transition phase. So if you have like a permed hair, if you retouch your hair, you notice that there's one part that is looking like undergrowth. They say the undergrowth is growing. Let me use a simple everyday language for us to understand. You'll be like, I'm having undergrowth. That undergrowth that you're calling the anagen, that's the growing phase of your hair. So that means your hair is growing. And then if you put like relax, if you're natural hair, your hair is in that state, but your hair also goes through the 4 different stages of growth. The cantagene stage is the transition stage. That's the stage between when the hair is growing and it's also going into the stage of it's transitioning, meaning that the hair has become mature, it has gone through keratin has taken place, the sebum has taken place, in that growth process. And then it means that your hair has separated from the follicle. So if you see some people's hair, you notice that in their strand of hair, maybe if you have a retouched hair, for example, or your hair is relaxed, or even if it's not relaxed, there's some parts that it looks like underneath is thicker and the upper one is thinning out. So because your hair is going through those different stages, your hair begins to thin out. So before it now gets to the point where it comes cut off from your hair completely. And that's where you get to exogen. Then you have the telogen stage. In this stage of the hair, that the hair is to a resting phase, there's not really much activity happening. What you need to do in the third stage of hair growth is maintenance. And that's where many people do not understand. And that's why many people don't know how to begin to take care of their hair. So I'm starting from the basics so that you understand that, yes, beyond hormones, what are you doing? Do you understand the stages that your hair go through? How are you taking care of your hair at each stage? It matters because at this early stage of the hair, anagen stage, is a growing phase, just like a baby, infant, they need care, they need, nutrition, they need hydration. What are you doing at that particular stage? What kind of products are you applying to your hair? It matters. Let's move on. So these are the stages. So I've actually helped us to explain, although I've explained them in my previous slide, but I just put a little bit of note here so that we understand. So anagen stage lasts 2 to 8 years. So those are if you notice, if you have a baby, if you give birth to a baby, and they say, cut the baby's hair, or the first growth of hair, you cut it. I don't believe in that because that's the cradle, that's like the hair the baby came and they say, oh, it's birth hair, but is the cradle with which you could take care of your baby's hair. To different people, to each people their own. Some people believe in that, some people believe, oh, but me, I don't. And because I understand that hair goes through different transition phases, definitely at a point that first stage of growth of hair is going to fall off. It will definitely fall off and other ones will grow out. So it's what are you doing at each stage? It says that your hair follicles that continue to grow or they are cut off or reach end of lifespan and fall out. 85 to 90% of our hair are constantly in this phase. 85 to 90% of our hair are constantly in the anagen phase, meaning that your hair is growing as in almost all the time. The catagen phase starts when anagen phase stops. It tends to go past about 2 weeks. Hair follicles shrink and hair growth slows. Hair separates from the bottom of hair follicles but remains in place during final days of growing. Only 1 to 3% of hair are in this phase. So it means that you need to show TLC, tender love and care to your hair, because it is constantly at the growing phase. So every other one that you were seeing, just like any other one that you were seeing in the transition phase, whatever you do in the growing phase affects the transition phase before the hair finally falls off. I really don't want to go into so much details about all this. I just wanted to give us a little bit of understanding of, what the phase of our hair is, because in the other slides, I already put the reasons why hair will fall off. But I also want us to know that at every stage of hair, there's a particular way that you take care of it. Before we go into the real reason why hair, you have issues with your hair. And then the telogen phase, the resting phase, this phase, like, my hair has been here for 2 years, it's not growing. Yes, it's not growing because at the anagen phase, you're not really taking care of the hair properly. Yeah, your hair does not grow, but they don't fall out. They're just there. So some people just have that hair, that growth at that stage, at the telogen resting phase for a long period of time, like almost like 10 years. And that's because, for example, if you have relaxer on your hair, if you have relaxer on your hair, for example, you're not even giving your hair moments to breathe. It has undergrowth, small undergrowth. You've run to the salon, you've gone to put something on the hair, chemical processes on the hair. Do you see that? So you're not even allowing your hair to enjoy that growth phase to grow into maturity. It's just like saying that you have a 3-week-old baby. I want to start giving the baby a bath. That's what we do to our hair. That's what we do to our hair. So you need to, like, for someone like me, I also need to understand that different people have different textures of hair. That's why I put it in my previous slide. Different textures of hair. I understand that people have, different textures of hair. But at the same time, you need understanding, because your hair is thick and strong, say, the comb is not entering it very, very well. So you want to go and put relaxer. No, there are other ways to manage your hair. Like Stasha here now, she has dreads on her hair. And then she talked about something. She said something from the beginning. She said, oh, she used to have bald. She noticed that there were patches on her hair. I'll get to it in a bit, but it is called um partial pattern baldness. It's a type of baldness that is in men, but there's a reason why it happens to women. So I'm going to explain it shortly. And it can be tackled. If you notice it early, it can truly be tackled. But I'll get to it shortly. So I wanted to get back to this slide to make us know that, oh, we need to truly understand our hair. So you see, understanding hair types and care. So there's a way to care for natural hair. People that have dreadlocks, their hair is always mostly in that natural hair and between anagen and telogen phase. Sorry if you're just joining in. I've said some things earlier. Hopefully you're able to listen to the recording. So curly and coily hair, they constantly need moisture. If you understand this, that this is what your hair needs, because they always look thirsty. They always look dry. And even if you pack, my daughter has natural hair. So no matter the amount of products that then when I did not understand hair and how it is, so no matter the amount of product that I put on her hair, it always looked dry and thirsty. And I'm like, why is the hair like this? It's because natural hair, not coily and curly hair naturally needs they need moisture. Your hair, your leave-in conditioner, all of those things. And then straight and wavy hair, they require shine. So you realize that sometimes after a while, if you're into relaxing your hair, even your wigs, your regular wigs, if you understand how to take care of them, you have an idea of how to take care of your hair. Because if you notice in your regular wigs, they'll tell you if you have a curly wig, because the idea of those curly wigs that we have is from that hair types. So for example, coily wigs, you cannot say you want to put pack serum on it because it doesn't need shine. It needs moisture. So they'll tell you to add things like leave-in conditioner or just water. Things that allows for moisture and all of that. So straight hair just requires shine. So you need to have products. And also in straight hair, you need to understand that once you straighten your hair is not as full as when it was in curly phase or in coily phase. So you need to have to start using maybe shampoos or shampoos that enable for hair to become fuller, like volumizer. That's why they do things like volumizer, because naturally when hair is straight, there's no doesn't really have a lot of density to it. Moving on. So now I just wanted to also understand, the elementary basis of our hair and what we do to our hair at different stage. I try to rush through that because in my slide going forward, I'm going to be talking about the different stages and different types of hair and all of those. So it says, get to the roots of hair loss problem. There's always an underlying cause or issue. There's always something. I have a question to ask before I go forward. What's the difference between thinning hair and brittle hair? Anybody? Try. It's not, there's no exam. Just try. What's the
Yes, I think
difference between
when hair is thinning, it's like it doesn't have
Mhm.
volume again. It's like it's getting weak and all that. But brittle would be breaking, like it's dry and like breaking like paper, I think.
Good. Yes, yes, yes. So thinning hair is when your hair is no longer, when your anagen, like for people that are just coming in, I talk about the 4 different stages of hair growth: anagen, catagen, telogen, and exogen. So anagen is the first stage where your hair starts to grow from. So when you're going through thinning, it means that your hair in the anagen phase is no longer growing due to some underlying factors. So there's no more growth. So it now looks like the hair that was now there in the catagen phase and the telogen phase is just there. So there's no other hair coming from under. So it now begins to have, maybe your front hair begins to thin, or some, partial baldness, pattern baldness all around the hair, because hair is not growing. There's no room or there's no basis for hair to grow around those areas. So there's no anagen stage anymore. And that's what it begins to affect women as they begin to grow older and when certain, chemical compounds are no longer physical in their body anymore. So moving on. So why does hair fall out? So now we're getting to the crux of the topic for the day. Hormonal changes is one of the greatest, especially in women. Hormonal changes, nutrient deficiency, harsh hair care products, stress. So anybody here can tell me what is the number one, as in the biggest reason why women lose their hair? Can anyone try? They might be present for most active participants who never can tell.
I think stress is one of the reasons, one of the major reasons. Stress.
Stress, but may I know who just spoke, please?
My name is Kelechi.
Okay, hi, Ms. Kelechi. Thank you so much. And you look so beautiful. Your picture. Yes, she's very correct. Stress is the number one factor in female that causes hair loss. Stress. But first of all, let's go to say, do you know that our body is full of chemical messengers that help regulate your various organs and body systems? There are at least 50 such chemicals in the human body. Their levels and when they are present can affect your growth, reproductive system, metabolism, hair growth, or more. These chemical messengers are called hormones. They are essential for health and life. So in this our body now, there are over 50 chemical messengers that send signals to the body to say, oh, okay, she's going through nutrition. Let me release this hormone, and this is what is now more active. Let me release that hormone in her body because, oh, she's breastfeeding. So different hormones. And so when all of these things begin to happen, they begin to affect not only our physical, not only our, well-being, they begin to affect parts of our body, things like hair. So moving on. So do you know that your hair is made up of 90% protein called keratin? As hard as your hair is mostly protein. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry about that. As hard as your hair is mostly protein. So that's what your hair is made up of. So you can understand how fragile it is. If you know how protein works, if you understand like meats, how easy they have to, how easy they have to go into decay mode, how easy they had to go into spoiling. You understand that, oh, if this is 90% of what my hair is made up of, then you should understand that you need to give it more love and more care. And understanding that also will help you to maintain what is there or begin to grow out fresh new hair. So moving on, types of hormones that affect your hair growth. So like I said, there are over 50 kinds of hormones that affect your hair, the growth of your hair. But here we're going to be restricting our discussion to androgens or DHT. DHT are called dihydrotestosterone, and that is the hormone. We all know that testosterone are hormones that are in the male bodies. In the women, it's called estrogen. That's the hormone that is supposed to be dominant in our body. However, we have some of it in little quantity in our bodies. We don't totally not have all of these hormones. But if you're a female, like a female species, you are born a female, then your estrogen level is supposed to be higher because that's one of the hormones that helps. So like I said, dihydrotestosterone, DHT for short. This hormone is male dominant hormone. Is the hormone that is dominant in the male. And so when women begin to go through things like menopause, for example, when we no longer are going through our menstrual cycle, and the hormone responsible for menstrual cycle and female reproduction generally is called estrogen. And so when we begin to enter menopause, we're going into certain age where we no longer, all those hot flashes, your head is becoming hot, all those things that happen. It means that your the testosterone is getting higher, is more higher than your estrogen, meaning your female reproductive hormones, like is becoming higher. So that's, and when that happens, what it does is this hormone is so mean. The way it affects, because of its high in men, notice that some men at the age of 30, their head is already starting from here. It's because of this hormone present, and that they need it because that's what makes up a man. So as a woman, when you're getting to a certain age, you realize that you no longer have menstruation going on anymore. All those hormones help you with your beauty, blah, 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 blah. It's no longer there anymore. It means that the male hormones is taking over. And the first thing that this hormone, where it goes to attack, is the hair. Imagine. That's like, it has a mission that I'm coming to show that I'm here. It goes to the hair. The high levels can shrink. The first thing it does is to go and shrink your hair follicle. That's the first mission. And then it shortens the growth cycle of your hair. Remember when I talk about the first slide, that's why I wanted to take us process of understanding, the hair growth, the different stages. Remember, it goes and, anagen is supposed to be between 2 to 8 years. So just imagine it going to shorten it like maybe a year. And that's it. And it just jumps to like telogen, like the last stage, and it begins to fall off. So there's no hair underneath that grows anymore. That's how you now begin to see thinning. Your hair begins to thin. Can you still see me? Am I still here?
Yes.
Thank you. That's
Yes.
when your hair begins to thin, because why? The testosterone is there, called DHT is there, so resulting in hair loss, specifically thinning. That is androgenic alopecia. That's pattern. That's the one that Shade talked about. Said in the middle of pattern hair loss. It's just some places. It can be some people is here, some people to form your belt. I'm sorry if you're like this. Is just, I'm really sorry in advance. It forms you're wondering, why is this place? What's going on? Is this DHT that's present in your body? So, say high levels of testosterone, especially in women, can lead to hair thinning or male pattern baldness. Conditions like polycystic ovary syndrome, like PCOS, are often linked to elevated testosterone levels, affecting hair follicles and causing hair loss. So when you begin, people that have PCOS, one of the things that happens, because the people that go to PCOS, they always have issues with their, menstrual cycle. It's on and off, it's not regular. So your body is going through all of those things. And this kind of things, all of these things that your body begins to experience can bring about shock to the body, and then causes a level of stress, and that begins to make your hair to fall out. But one amazing thing happened before this cause. I used to hear that, there are some certain foods that help to go and they help to block DHT. So when I say DHT, I'm talking about that testosterone. It's always like a tongue twister for me. So sorry. So I'm just shortening into DHT. So, but there's some certain natural foods that you can eat that actually goes to blocking. Let me give you something very practical that happened to me. So we're all female here, so I can talk. I'm allowed to talk. So my menstrual cycle was supposed to happen a week before. So my menstrual was supposed to happen next week, rather, because usually towards the end of the month. And I wanted to see if this thing is actually true, because I didn't want to come here and just come and give stories and just, read through slides. I also wanted to experience some things. So even if I say some certain things, it's because I've actually experienced them. So I really wanted to experience this and truly understand, if this is truly, if it was true, because I said, this kind of thing is there. So there's some certain foods that you eat. When you begin to pay attention to your diet, you begin to notice that it helps to block the overstimulation or the over production of the DHT in your body. So while I was like, oh, it was early hours in the morning. I was like, okay, let me just try. So I took a cup of tea, a particular kind of tea, and I took biscuits. And in less than 1 hour, my menstruation that was supposed to come next week, in less than an hour, this tea went into active overdrive, and my menstruation came a week earlier than normal after 1 hour that I took the tea. And it's a tea that we regularly would pass. There are foods that we even eat normally, but we don't really pay attention to them like that. And guess what the tea was? Green tea. Green tea. So it went and blocked the DHT hormone that was being released, and spiked on my estrogen hormone. And because that's the hormone that allows you to menstruate and all of that. And funny thing is, that's the hormone that allows for hair production. I'm getting there. So when your estrogen is high, if you notice, when you're pregnant, estrogen and progesterone, they are hormones that work hand in hand. If you notice, when you're pregnant, your hair is fuller, is thicker, yes, because of estrogen. And so when you're getting older and your hormones are beginning to lose, when that one is going, it means that it's going to affect the hair, because that hormone that produces for your hair to grow is no longer there. So I took green tea, and that was what happened. So I put some food that we said red meat, eggs, dairy, nuts, and shellfish may increase the amount of DHT in our body. However, it's not like we're supposed to totally take them out, because we also need the nutrient. Remember that your hair is made up of 90% of what? Keratin. And keratin is actually it's a kind of protein. So your body actually needs protein. But if you now begin to eat these things, it goes on an overdrive. So the goal is to ensure that they are not in excess, especially in our hair follicles or when our hair is in growth circles. There are foods that act as blockers to prevent excess in our hair. Food like tomatoes, they go to block the DHT presence in our hair. Soybeans, berries, carrots, spinach, and green tea. Like, I give an example of what green tea did for me. Like, I was really shocked. I was really, really shocked. So if you can increase your intake of green tea, it would help. What it does is it goes to block that DHT, because once DHT is in an overdrive in your system, it means that it begins to affect, your hair, the follicles, the shaft, and all of that. I already talked about estrogen briefly, while I was explaining GH. It's directly related to hair loss or growth, known as female reproductive hormones. However, these hormones are far more than that. They are responsible for keeping hair in the growing phase, because the goal is always to keep your hair in, because the hair is always the highest amount of time that your hair is always in the anagen phase, called the growing phase, because it's there between 2 to 8 years. And so if this estrogen keeps your hair there, if you notice, almost immediately after you finish giving birth, be like, oh, my hair is breaking. Why? Because that estrogen level is no longer as dominant as it was. DHT is now present. Your body is now going through that, oh, I want to produce milk and all of those things. I want to start doing your body knows, oh, there's no estrogen, that reproductive female organ that keeps, all of a sudden your hair begins to fall off or shed off. So it affects the natural oil that makes hair smooth. If you notice, like, your hair is so fine when you're pregnant, all of those things. Why? Estrogen is dominant. So the point is always ensure that we take certain foods that enhance, the presence of estrogen levels in our body. Say high levels of estrogen make hair thicker and longer. Case in point, pregnancy. A decline in estrogen causes hair loss, thinning, and dryness, menopause. So as much as, yes, there are also vitamins that we can take as well. But I'm a sucker for natural things. I like to go through the natural route, because as much as, yes, you can take there are certain medications that you can take, there's certain supplements that you can take. But God has made all of these things abundant in the natural, resources that He has created. And we can just take like, how much is green tea? Taking a cup of green tea a day won't hurt you. Or your regular rice and stew, your tomatoes that you're looking at, like, anyhow, just imagine that you're eating it raw and just enjoying a tomato salad. Can see what with spinach and maybe with fish, fatty fish. They help in estrogen levels. And so some of these things that God has made, they're already there to also help us. And I just hope that we take advantage of them as well. So estrogen plays a crucial role in hair growth. But when there's an imbalance, more estrogen than progesterone, it can cause hair thinning, especially around the temples and crown. Estrogen dominance can be caused by factors like pregnancy, birth control, or menopause. What does birth control do? It goes to stop, the hormone that releases what they call it, the hormone that helps with the reproductive system of a woman. So that's what birth control pills do. So some people, they react by their hair coming off, or they are becoming over bloated because there's just an imbalance. There's a war going on in their body. Moving on, thyroid hormones says thyroid hormones stimulate hair growth by directly impacting hair follicles. By regulating the hair growth cycles, imbalances in thyroid hormones can lead to noticeable hair loss. When thyroid hormones are imbalanced, a higher proportion of hair follicles enter the resting phase. The presence of thyroid hormones promotes keratinocyte proliferation. That's over when keratin begins to break down faster. It's not supposed to happen. It's supposed to be at a level where your hair, keratin is supposed to be like a breathing ground for you, like a soil, like when you plant the soil, the breathing ground for the plant to grow, the kind of soil that you use to grow certain plants. That's what. So when there's a breakdown of this, it begins to affect your hair, and it begins to affect the way that your hair grows out, or how your hair is. Like I said, the goal is also always to ensure that your hair is in the first stage, because that's like the most important part. Every other part of it. So for those that did not come earlier, let me just quickly go back to these stages. So anagen growing phase, catagen transition phase. Yeah, not hair stops, like that's where energy stage stop. Telogen, the resting phase. Yeah, nothing happens. Your hair is just in that permanent state. That's why some people say, I've had hair for over 10 years. It's just at that moment. Yes, because there's really nothing going. And the little one that is growing, you use chemicals, relaxers, and all of those things, you damage it. So you're not even giving it room to breathe. You're not even giving it room to grow. So that's what happens. I just wanted to quickly go back for those that were not here earlier. See, and underactive, that's when your thyroid hormones are underactive, meaning that it's not producing enough. It's called hypothyroidism, or overactive, can cause significant hair loss. Low thyroid hormone levels slow down the hair growth cycle, while excess thyroid hormones can cause hair to fall out rapidly. So when there is low thyroid, when your thyroid hormones, when it's low, it slows down the growth process, meaning that when the hair is supposed to be growing in anagen stage, you can just keep your hair in exogen stage, and your hair it's just not growing anymore. It's just permanent. Or when it's excess, your hair just begins to pull out. Why? Because it has gone, it just it's over accelerate the growth process of your hair, meaning that your hair is supposed to grow in stages. You're maintaining each stage, but once that hormone is too much, it just spikes your hair to the end stage, and then it begins to fall off. But do you know that it's okay for about 50 to 100 strands of our hair to fall out in a day? Like, that's totally fine. But when you're pulling out your hair, it's now in excess, that's when there is trouble. That's when you know that, oh, I need to see a practitioner, or something is wrong. Insulin resistance. We understand that insulin is related to diabetes and diabetic patients and all of it. So when your body begins to resist insulin, can cause hormonal imbalance. that leads to hair thinning. Insulin resistance is often linked to conditions like obesity and type 2 diabetes, affecting your hair's growth and health. So, like, it just shows that once that there's that resistance in insulin, your body cannot really process sugar and all of those things. It begins to affect you, and your body's not breaking down sugar for you to produce what is meant to produce in your body. It begins to affect the growth of your hair, affect the person generally, not you, in Jesus' name, but the person. So now there's another
Amen.
kind of cortisol. And now when we first started, my beautiful mommy here, Kelechi, she helped us and she told us that the number one factor for hair fallout and thinning in women is stress. And our body produces a kind of hormone in the body that helps us to regulate and how our body responds to stress. It is called cortisol. So cortisol helps the body respond to stress, regulate blood pressure, control inflammation, also known as stress hormone. High cortisol leads to hair loss, that's alopecia. So that's one of the main causes of alopecia is when person is really stressed. It's actually stress. Yes, it can be underlying issues like medical conditions and all, but also those medical conditions, person is not sleeping well, the person is, having a mental breakdown, all of those things. So stress hormones begin to become active and they begin to affect our hair. Low cortisol leads to low keratin levels. The goal is to keep cortisol level at equilibrium. I always say that it's not like stress is not good. There's a level of stress that is also really good. If there's no stress in your life, you cannot be creative. So you also need to have a level of stress. But when it's too much, that's when it begins to affect you. But when you don't, like I don't want stress, just want to be in that relaxed state, you will not be a very creative person. When there's a level of stress, it just allows you to be on your toes and all, but like I said, it has to be at equilibrium. You need to understand when your body needs to rest, when your body needs to do things like yoga for relaxation and all of that. Are we following? Any question in between? So it's not like, are we enjoying the session? Is it enlightening? Are we learning something new?
We're enjoying it. We're enjoying it.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You can put your questions or your comments in the chat box. If you have any
Yes.
questions or whatever, yeah.
So, like I said, hair loss caused by stress, known as telogen effluvium. That's where your hair begins to fall off. There's a condition for it. When it begins to affect your hair, exercise for the hair and all of that. But I just wanted us to understand some things that happen to our bodies. Actually, on this call, my internet is shaky. Am I still here? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. It
Okay.
cut off for a second, but I can hear you now.
Okay, all right. So it says our bodies react differently to stress. I really want to pause here a bit and talk about stress and how it affects us. Many people think that, oh, stress is when something bad is happening. If you can check through my slide, stress can be caused by different kind of things: financial crisis, divorce, menopause, moving houses. That's supposed to be a good thing can bring you stress because you're trying to move, you're up and down, your body's going through overdrive. Planning events can also bring stress. So the point, unresolved childhood traumas brings about stress to the body. There's some emotional things as women that we've gone through that we can't explain to anybody, and we've kept it inside. I really want to pause here because as much as I want to talk about hair loss and all, I also want us to go through a process together. And I want us to leave here at least with a level of ease, not necessarily, oh, we just came and just bombarded you with information and that's it. No, I want to stop here because I noticed that a lot of women, we have unresolved childhood traumas. And sometimes these things bring stress, not only to our physical bodies, but to our emotions, especially our emotions. And we women, once our emotions are, all over the place, it affects even our being, how we are, our totality, our well-being. It even affects the way we sleep. For some people, you might say, oh, I'm not sleeping well. Emotionally, how are you? There's some things that you have thrown under the carpet. There's some things, there's your emotions that you don't want to express or you don't want to confront. There's some things that you don't want to go through the process and talk about them. They affect us, not only our health, even our skin. When you're stressed, you begin to break out. That's another story entirely. It affects your overall look. You lose your, the way you look, the brightness on your face and all of that. Not even talk about hair. So I'm pausing here because I really want us to take a moment and think back. It's not like I'm trying to make us rehash, painful childhood memories, but it can also help us to look at our lives in retrospect. For some people, one of the reasons why, their hormones are even all over the place and overdrive is internally. They're not settled. They're stressed. They might look like completely okay with their makeup on and everything on. So for someone like me, I've had to cut my hair 3 times in the space of 5 years. I've cut my hair 3 times in 5 years. And most times and that was one of the reasons that made me to even go into hair. I really wanted to understand why. And I noticed that, oh, when I have my kids, when I'm pregnant, my hair is full. But once I just finish giving birth, my hair is like it's like hair. So, and it's always super embarrassing. And for someone like me, I'm a braid girl. I love to make braids most of the time. And so I'm like, what's going on? So out of frustration and anger, I'll cut it off. And then I'll start to grow my hair again. But one time I sat down and I was like, okay, now I don't have, it's no longer because I've given birth and progesterone is no more working in my life. So what's going on? And I realized that it was just my own personal emotions that I had not dealt with. So I had to, go through that process and ask myself certain questions. How do I feel when people talk about money? How do I feel when people talk about certain stories or certain situations? How do I react to these things mentally? How do I react to domestic violence? How do I react to, lack? How do I react to, things like that? As simple as these things sounds, they as simple as it looks like, oh, it's just, one of those things we went through as kids. It will really affect our general well-being as we grow. And I really want us to take a moment, even after here, to sit down and go through that process. You need to tell yourself the truth. What is that thing that, you can't tell anyone? You can't talk to anyone about it, but you can talk to God, or you can, find a therapy. Some women, you say, in this part of the world, we don't like to talk about therapy. It's not like you're mad. No, they're just certain things that you need, that process to be taken away, that burden to be lifted off you. I just wanted to pause to say that that's one of the number one reason why even a lot of women even run and jump into menopause. Stress, emotional stress is that deep. It speeds up our menopause. Is that deep? Yes, I understand there are things like hereditary, some things like, starting your menstrual cycle early. Yes, but there are also other underlying issues as well. Moving on. Nutrient deficiencies. Like I said, we already talk about food. What are you eating? Some people say, I don't eat meat. I don't eat this. I don't eat that. Good for you. But what other things are you adding? What other nutrients are you supplementing for that? I understand that there might be vegans, I don't want to eat meat. Are you also eating chickpeas? Are you eating things that, like I said, our hair is 90% protein. So if you're not even having something that has to do with protein, like you can get protein from other sources like soybeans, it's a good form of protein. It's not really, so just for anyone that's, on a vegan diet or on a keto diet, what are you eating? What are you consuming? One of the fruits that many people walk past every time and it's very, very cheap. You see your mala with wheelbarrow carrying it. That is very, very good for the hair. That helps even in our female bodies is watermelon. Watermelon is so good because why? It contains water. That helps with you to hydrate your hair. It helps with your sebum. Sebum is the oil that your natural oil that your hair produces. So I'm going to talk about that eventually when we talk about other things that affect the growth process and your growth. Let me see. Is there any question? Any question? I can't really see the comment section. So if there's any question, please let me know so that I can go to it. Otherwise, I'll just continue.
Okay, it's just comments that people are following. No questions per se, just following
Okay,
and when
thank
you
you.
said chickpea,
Thank
all
you
of
so
us are
much.
reacting like
Food that
chickpea.
promotes hair growth. So I've taken my time to put out like something like a balanced diet that can help. Things that we can eat, things that it's not only, we cannot understand that even the hair growth is not only about just your hair. It's also about your general well-being, your health. So things like eggs, seeds, groundnuts, walnuts, cashew nuts, pine nuts, your nuts generally, they're really good. They help. They contain fatty acids, omega-3. They will contain omega-3 in them. They help. Those are things that your hair needs to grow. Those are things that like fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, your regular mackerel. You need to incorporate those things in your meal. They are fatty fish, not all kinds of fish. Fatty fish, specifically for fatty fish, they don't their levels of fat in them is not so high. Things like spinach, berries, nuts, soybeans, legumes generally. Like soybeans, legumes, your beans, your red kidney beans, and all of those things. Incorporating those things in your meal will also help you.
Sorry, we have a
I
question
also
because that question came to my head when you said mackerel. What's mackerel? What's the other name for mackerel? The Yoruba name in the market that we know.
Hey, Jesus will help me. Oh. Help me. There's
Okay, someone
anybody
said
that can help.
Eja Titus.
Eja Titus, your
Oh,
Eja
thank you.
Titus fish.
Because when you said mackerel, it came to my head and somebody asked, and I was like, oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
It came, but it ran away again. Mackerel, oysters, all those fish that can just, if you have, we all have our smartphones, just type fatty fish that contains fat. Natural fat that your body needs. Another type of natural fat is avocado, like your
Yeah,
avocado pear.
avocado.
So good. So good. Like, it is so good. I would even tell us hair mask we can even do for hair using just avocado hair. It's so good. That's how good it is. I talk about spinach. So I just put them here. So spinach is mostly green vegetables, all your greens. Just enjoy your greens. Just pack them. Just be enjoying it. They help, with the hair. So feed your hair from within. So as much as we want to have hair products, like I make hair products, I have a hair product that makes hair grow, yes, but I'm also, like I said, I will tell you the truth. What are you eating? What nutrients is your body receiving? Because yes, I can help produce this product, but what are you doing personally? It's not like I'm trying to give you assignments. It's just like, oh, you say, oh, I'm going to the gym, you're carrying weight, but when you now come back, you now eat a bar. What is going on? Or you come back and say, I beg, I beg. I will not lie. I did it one time. I went to the gym. I was very hungry. I came back. I said, please give me a bar. I'm hungry. Or you just eat bread. You just stuff on bread because you are hungry. You're not helping what you did. Same thing with our hair. You're not helping your hair. It's not going to grow. So I can give you all the products in the world, but what are you eating? What are you feeding yourself with? That's how I talked about the blockers. You might even say, but I'm taking plenty milk. Well, we understand that milk, dairy products are what makes DHT, that's testosterone, spike up. So if I'm saying, but I'm taking my protein, how are you taking it? It matters how you take these things in. How much do you hydrate? How much water do you take in? So feed your hair from within. Protein builds strands. So when you know that you're eating fatty food because you're trying to make your strand to be stronger. Say my hair is always cutting and breaking. You're lacking protein. Your body is telling you something. Biotin, iron, zinc makes your hair to grow. And omega-3, I talked about them in fish and all of those things. So you need all of things that contain foods that have biotin in them. Things like, I think, flaxseed seeds, yes, they have biotin. Chia seeds, they're so good. Fenugreek, they are so good. Things that contain iron and zinc, omega-3, they say it makes your hair to grow. So when you begin to eat certain things, it also even allows your hair to grow. Omega-3 keeps your scalp hydrated. Once your scalp is dry, naturally, there is like when you're growing your plants, you're not giving it water to drink. It will wither and die. That's how your hair is. So if you look at your hair like, oh, it's a plant, it needs to grow, I need to, give it a little bit of TLC, total love and care, it also respond to you. But it's not about the product, really about the product that you buy. Those help, they accelerate, they keep the hair maybe in the growing phase so that it doesn't really fall off. They help, but what are you also eating? It matters. So now we'll go to hair care products. I put two things here. Sulfates. We all know that. Say the time you don't use products that have sulfur in them. Sulfate products are not good for the hair. They break down the keratin process in the hair. They go to the hair follicles. They shrink the hair follicles, so it's bad for you. But you know that there's also something called overwashing of your hair. There's a chemical in water, our normal water, called fluoride. So when there's too much in your hair, it cuts your hair. So all these people that say, I just did all back, come and wash my hair. You are not allowing your natural oil, sebum, it's called sebum, I didn't put it here, SEBUM, the natural oil that your hair produces that allows it to maintain its growth, is the lustrous and the luster feeling of your hair. You're not allowing it to stay. Any small thing, I did all back. You washed your hair for you. You are stripping your hair off its natural oil. It becomes dry. There's no room for it to, so give it space. My hair, I don't like smelling itchy hair. Okay. Use products that also help to not make your hair itchy and smell. They're natural things that you can use in your hair. Jojoba oil, Jojoba oil, jojoba oil. You have your lavender oil. They smell amazing and they're so good for the hair. But so you also need to keep your hair, because I intentionally put it's okay to wash your hair, but not often. Time it, maybe once in 3 weeks if you're a sucker for washing hair. But I don't really believe that you should wash your hair that much if you are maintaining, the level. So for some of us, you just made, I just lose my hair. They've gone. They've applied products. They've applied, all those things. And one of the things also, even if you say, okay, I want to be washing my hair, I'm not that kind of person, I don't want, fine. 2 weeks at most is okay. But there are some things you also need to do. There's something called pre-poo, pre-shampoo. It's 2 words. It's called pre and poo. The poo is from the word shampoo. It's called pre-poo. You prepare your hair. You put oil in your hair, like poo products like oil, like serums. You put it in your hair before you go and wash the hair, so that the shampoo that you're using does not strip your hair of all the natural oil that it needs to keep the hair in the anagen phase, so that your hair does not thin out or fall off. Like I talked about fluoride, it's in water. So we also have to be careful, because fluorides are not, they're things that they don't allow our hair to grow properly. So we also need to be careful about how regularly we wash our hair. It's also part of it. The next slide, excessive use of heat. Any small thing, we have entered dryer, want to want to dry our hair. We've carried hot comb. We've carried all those things. They are not good for the hair. Heat. Imagine when you buy meat. Like I said, your hair is made up of keratin, and that's 90% of protein. That's protein. Like your hair is made up of 90% of protein. Imagine that you bought meat now. You did not put it in the freezer, nothing. You didn't protect it. You didn't put protection. You now put it in a hot car. You now travel, let's say, from here to Ibadan. You know that if you don't take care of that protein, it spoils very fast. So imagine your hair, excess heat in the hair. Imagine what it does to the hair. So I'm trying to make it as simple and everyday things that we do so that we can understand what we are also doing to our hair. So you're spoiling the protein spoils fast. Any small thing, fish is spoiled, meat is spoiled. Eggs, they spoil super fast because of heat. One of the things that destroy them is heat, and that's what our hair is made up of. So if we put excess, I used to wonder when people say, why do they say we should not use excess heat? What's the reason? Going into the hair space, that made me realize that, oh my goodness, it's because of, the excess, because our hair is made up of protein, and heat and protein are not friends at all. Like, they are not friends at all. Pulling and tugging, especially at the nape, hair. I want to do braids. You say they should make your hair from here. See, I have my hair all the way almost to my to my eyebrow. That's how much hair that I have. But as much as I do have this type of hair, I never allow them to start my hair from the nape, because that place is very tender, extremely tender. That's one of the causes for thinning of the hair. That's what causes those baldness. When they pull and tug at you, your hairdresser will tell you, madam, it's very fine, very pretty from the front. You see the beauty. No, I don't want to see the beauty. The reason why I'm doing this style is to protect my hair. It's called protective hairstyling. Yes, as much as I want to look beautiful, but at the end of the day, you are doing it because you want to take beautiful pictures to say you made this hair, but you're damaging my hair. So they know me. I'll tell you, pull brush. I'll tell you, pull brush on my hair. I don't want. They know me. So essential hair care products and simple styling tips. So like I said I was going to teach us a quick everyday, a quick hair mask that we can do. We don't have to, go to the bank and spend your money there. Your avocado pear, you just take it out, scoop it, mash it, take a little bit of banana, potassium, one banana. I'm giving you free, it's free, free of charge. Egg, don't put the yolk in it. Your natural hair mask, don't put the yolk in there. Don't, because yolk
The
hardens
egg will
the
not be
hair.
smelling in somebody's hair. How will you remove
No,
the
no,
smell from hair?
you wash it off. But if you don't want the egg, you can take it out. You can take it out, but you wash it off with your shampoo. But it helps. It helps. But you can do banana, avocado pear, and honey. If you don't have honey, coconut oil is fine. You put it in your hair like a mask, and then you just cover your hair. But egg just allows protein. Like I said, your hair is protein. You need it. So, but you don't have to put the yolk, because once you put, and please don't use hot water to wash the hair, because you'll be cooking the egg you'll be cooking the egg on your hair and just stay. So please, like, look one more time, but not hot water. Don't cook. Don't say, that was what she said, and now it's not me. So yeah, when you do that and you apply it to your hair, you can leave it overnight. But if you don't like the smell of the egg, like Shanae said, it can be nauseating. You can do it during the day, maybe 30 to 40 minutes. You know that, oh, I want to steam my hair. That's steaming, but it's natural. That's steaming. So you can also do that to your, to your hair. Say it revitalizes hair with deep hydration and nourishment. That's what it's like you're feeding it the nutrient that it needs, the breathing ground it needs to keep growing. Heat protection sprays, like people that say, I cannot do without stretching my hair. If I don't stretch my hair, are you using heat protection sprays? Are you using them? They sell them. It's not for fancy. It's not only for your wig. Your hair also needs them. And you go to the salon, tell them not for them to be collecting money. Oh, could you apply heat protecting and protection spray on my hair? Shield your hair from damaging heat. Like I said, your hair is protein. It's made up of protein. So if you constantly keep and putting, you're damaging the keratin from in the hair follicle. So it's not going to give it the moment to keep staying in that anagen phase. It will quicken your hair to go to the exogen phase and it will just fall off. Nourishing hair oils,
Okay,
like I
so
was,
we have a
they
question. Somebody says, like, how often should we deep condition? If you want
Okay,
to do
so deep
yeah.
conditioning is tricky. And you also need to understand your hair type, the kind of hair that you have. Do you have fine hair? Do you have coarse hair? Those are also some of the questions that you need to ask. And then is your hair thirsty as well? For someone like me, my hair is actually due for deep conditioning, and I'm not deep conditioning over 3 months, but I think that the safest time for you to do that is at least maybe every quarter. So you don't overdo it, because over putting too much of protein in the hair as well is also not good. So like I said, everything has to be in equilibrium, but every quarter is fine. Every quarter is fine, or every 2 months, at most, at the least every quarter. So, but overdoing it also is not also good. But every quarter, but it also depends on your hair type. Is your hair fine? Is your hair coarse? Is it natural hair? Those things also matter. So, I have a free gift at the end of the class, so you can also ask me those questions. I think that's a personal question, and so I'll answer that personally. So yeah, hair growth serum promotes blood circulation that helps in the growth, that helps the hair to stay, help the hair in the growth phase to be healthier, thicker, and shinier. And see, Sade is here. She's using this is my products, by the way. So she's using my hair growth, and she said one of the things she said, she has noticed that it makes her hair stronger. So that's one of the works of serum. So when they tell you, oh, I'm selling hair serum, yes, it helps your hair to grow and all of that. But one of the things, it just keeps it strong so that it doesn't fall off. It doesn't, pull off. She actually said, oh, that was one of the things that she noticed that the hair serum did for her hair. But it also matters what are the products in it. You need things like hair boosters, you need hairsprays, things like hair boosters. They also make your hair look more voluptuous, robust. They help in, the production of the hair growth in your hair. Hair growth tips. Don't use, like I said, don't use heat often. Hair dry your hair. I know we don't have that patience. Just want to wash your hair. Why don't you wash your hair a day before and then go to the salon? I'm not saying that don't stay away from heat totally. I'm not saying that's not what I'm saying, but don't overexpose yourself to heat, your hair to heat. Brush gently and detangle in the shower. There's actually, you can see the comb there, those big toothed or brush. You don't use small comb and then you're brushing your hair. And then even when you want to detangle, there's a way to detangle. You start from the end of your hair down to the roots. You don't just comb, because there might be places that are knotted together, that they are tangled together. You need to, even your weave on. That's why even our weave ons as well. You now realize that I bought this weave on, everything was straight. Though, why is it that some parts are now looking like broom? You were combing anyhow. You were combing. Some parts are looking shorter. You're not understanding their flyaways, because you're supposed to comb from the end, then you're going to the roots. Always scalp before wash day. I talked about that. You can use serum. That's all your scalp before wash day. You prepare your hair before you want to wash it, so that your hair, when you're washing, what shampoo does is shampoo removes debris, dirt, and oil from your hair. So you don't want to totally strip off the oil. You also want to maintain the oil as much as you want to wash off the dirt off your hair. So you have to prepare your hair. You pre-poo your hair. That's what it's called. Drink lots of water. Your hair needs hydration. Like literally drink water and mind your business so that your hair can grow. Literally. So like I said, it's just like repeating, do not skip oiling. Oil is good for your hair. Don't brush after shower. Style your hair when lightly wet, not when it's totally dry. You know, it helps also in the how your hair the when your hair is tangled and none of this, so you don't tug at it. When your hair is softer, you're able to manage it properly.
So
Avoid
somebody's asking
aggressive.
a question. Somebody's asking, she's saying,
Okay.
what about cold hair dryers?
Oh, they are good. They are good. Yeah, they are good. The thing is, they're avoiding heat. I actually have a brush that is just, it's not hot. It's just like lukewarm, and I use it to brush my hair. It's good. It's actually good. The thing is, you're avoiding heat, because what heat is doing is it's breaking your first stage of
Breaking
your
down the
hair growth,
process.
the energy, and that's what you need. So that's what heat does. So it says avoid aggressive. You know, when you finish washing your hair, that thing that they'll do, my hairdressers, they know me. I used to talk. I don't keep quiet. You'll come and use towel. That thing is bad. It's not good for your hair follicle. It has to be gentle, gentle. That's why it's even advisable. I know that, yes, we enjoy going to the salon and enjoying all of those salon treatments and all of those things. Yes, sorry about the noise. We enjoy going to the salon and those feel, but also we also need to know some of these tips, so that as much as, yes, they know everybody loves to be pampered, we love that idea of being pampered. As much as that's happening, we also need to also know that, oh, this is now a schedule. It's overdoing, you're overdoing it. My hair is being affected. Deep conditioning, oh, once a week. Why? Our hair is thirsty. Do you see the kind of hair that they said deep conditioning for? Our hair is thirsty. I actually don't advise for um deep conditioning all the time, especially if you have fine hair. That's why I said if your hair is fine, coarse, you also need to know, because there's also something called when over conditioning of your hair would also break, because what conditioning does to the hair is it softens the hair. So when the hair is too soft, it breaks and it falls off. So you also have to know. So I intentionally put this here so that I could explain. I wanted to explain this. So do not skip oiling. Use a hairspray, like I said earlier. So this is
So
me. I intentionally
we
put
have
a picture.
one question. Somebody says, my hair
Okay.
breaks at the back. What can I do? That's Bukaya.
Okay. If your hair breaks at the back, that's it. It's like it depends. Is it hormones? And how are you sleeping? How do you sleep? Do you sleep with your head like touching the pillow? Are you using hair? Are you using hair bonnet to cover your hair? Is your hair dry? And then these are questions that also need to ask. So I need to also ask personal questions,
Okay,
because I
hi,
can't give
Bukaya.
a general.
You can unmute.
You can unmute and talk. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Hi. Good evening.
Good evening. Well done.
Thank
So
you.
the thing is, I noticed that most of the time my air breakage is from the back. Sometimes there was a time I went natural and I wasn't using any relaxer. At that time, it picked up.
Okay.
Then later I went back to relaxing my hair. Then I noticed that the same breakage also started again. So recently, I just discovered that almost like a very large part of the hair from the back just went off. In fact, so off that it can't even be, you cannot hold it to braid it. So now I don't even know, maybe it's the relaxer that is causing it, or there is another kind of challenge that I have not identified.
Okay.
And usually when I sleep, I don't sleep with bonnet. That's another one. I don't sleep with air bonnet.
Okay. Okay. So, sorry about that. It can be very frustrating, especially, as women and our hair. But the thing is, based on what you said, that when you stopped using the relaxer, your hair would pick up. meaning there might be something in the particular relaxer, the product that you were using in your hair. But what you said is always in a particular spot, and that's the back of your hair, the nape of your hair. So it means that your hair is going through what they call partial baldness that I talked about. Some people is in the center, some people is at the back, and it can also be caused by products that you were using. Like you said when you stop using. I'll give you an example. For someone like me, when I don't want to call names of products and all of that. I'm trying to be as careful as possible. But when I use a particular kind of relaxer, I notice that every single time that I use that particular relaxer, it's always here, the whole of my hair that goes off, the front of my hair becomes really bald. So I had to stop using that particular relaxer. So I'm sure it's the product that you were using, because you also explained that once you stop using the product and you went back to being on your natural hair, your hair would pick up back. So I think at the moment, and how often do you also relax your hair? Because I feel like that's one of the main problems. How often do you relax your hair? Is it as soon as, there's a little bit of undergrowth in your hair, you just want to,
No,
you're
I
not.
wait. Sorry, please. I wait till like, in fact, the maximum or the minimum I've done is 3 months.
Okay.
Mm.
That means that you have fine hair, my kind of hair texture. Because I retouch my hair as well. I can't manage a natural hair. Why? Because I have a very tender scalp, and so it hurts and all of those things when I begin to brush. I don't have the threshold for it, so that's why I retouch my hair. I relax my hair twice or sometimes once in a year when I began to notice that, because I have fine hair. When you have fine hair, fine texture of hair means your hair is soft, and when you begin to add too much chemical in your hair, that way it affects your hair. What it means is that you're not allowing the anagen phase of your hair to grow properly before you apply chemical that stretches it out, and chemicals that forces it to stretch out and become straight. You're not allowing your hair grow properly. You're retouching faster, so there's no room for your hair to be in the anagen phase. It's like you're totally forcing your hair to go to the third phase each time you put that relaxer. So if you have a fine hair, you need to also understand that how often you put the chemical and what other shampoo are you using. And number two, when you retouch your hair, many people don't know this. When you retouch your hair, if it's not properly washed, the relaxer is also continuously acting up in your hair if you don't wash it properly. So the relaxer is also continuing its process in your hair. So there's something that I usually would do when I retouch my hair. I notice that they are in a hurry, they salon people. Sometimes almost the next day, I come back and I wash my hair again. I wash it off. You can also do that, because it means that the relaxer, or even when your shampoo or your conditioner is not properly rinsed off of your hair. So you still have products in your hair that are still active and they are still doing their work. So they are breaking down the keratin process, the keratin in your hair. They're breaking down the protein in your hair and not allowing your hair to grow and the follicles in your hair to grow properly. So you might also want to check with that. But I think it's that Olubukayo, right? I'm actually going to give consultation for people that want to, have a one-on-one with me. And I think I would, have that conversation with you so that we can take it up from there and go through the process. Would that be okay? Because there are also some personal questions that I would like to ask as well. And I can't do that here. Did that, but
So we
that
have
at
some
least
more. We
answer
have
you.
some more questions, but I'll just
Okay.
allow you to wrap up.
Okay, because
wrap
I'm
up,
almost
then
done
I'll
with my
just yeah, because I know that you're already at the end. So once you wrap up, then I would so that we don't overshoot our time. Okay.
Okay, so simple principle, like this is me now, because I said, look at where, and here my hair was, this was when I just, I think I just came off breastfeeding. So my hair is still going through, I intentionally put this picture here to show you that, yes, I've gone through my process, I've gone through my, trying to understand my hair. I've gone through the pain and all of those. But you can see where they started you can see clearly where they started my braids from. As much as I told them to start from there, I would use an edge control. I will use a product for my hair. I didn't make them start from the beginning. I'm trying to protect my hair. Why do I want to tug at it as well? You can do things like ponytail. Ponytail also help. You know, it's not really affecting your hair, but overdoing a ponytail too is a problem because at that moment you're putting too much stress at the center of your hair. It can cause partial baldness. Most of the thing is you also need to understand that all of these things is equilibrium. You need to know, balancing it out, have a routine for your hair is important. Like, just want to put your hair in the center, like, and Tishade, that's one of the things that is causing partial baldness because you're putting pressure at the center of your hair. So sometimes you might want to let it down, take the weight off the center as well. You're tugging at the center of your hair. Can do finger curls, braids like I put there, cornrows. You can I'm seeing someone's picture. I don't want to. The cornrow is starting from the beginning of your nape. It's not supposed to be so, and that's why you don't really have hair there. It will affect your hair growth at that area. And these are some of the things that people won't tell you. Yes, it makes the hair fine. So yeah, before I did a simple exercise to activate that area of the scalp where your hair grows. This is the point and the moment where I'm going to take off my wig. So, yeah, we're going to do this exercise together. It helps to stimulate blood flow in that area because one of the things that also helps with your hair is blood flow. But you need to apply oil. My hair is oiled already. I already applied a little bit of oil because it helps so that there's no friction. So you want to take your hand on your brow here. You're counting 4 fingers. Take the next one. It has to be 8, just 4. You're taking out your thumb. That's center of your hair. Put your hands together and just do back and forth, back and forth. But it's actually relaxing, back and forth. Then you count there. You count another 4, making 12 finger. You take it there, do it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Take your hand all the way to the back. And you kind of like, at the end, you're rolling the back of your head. Can you see the back of your head? And you're doing that. And then you take your hand this way, forward, and then you're doing this. It's actually relaxing. You relax when you're done. For a few seconds. You can do this in the bathroom. You feel light. You feel relaxed if you do it well. So did anybody do it well? Did you feel a bit relaxed? And then, this. No, be truthful. Did you do well? Did you feel a bit relaxed? Because actually supposed to relax you.
I did.
Yeah, is it a deep pressure? Do you do deep pressure or gentle pressure?
Deep pressure, a little, not so deep.
Not too deep.
Yes, not too
Okay.
deep. Not too deep. It helps when you're in the bathroom, taking a shower, or you're even feeling stressed. A little bit of stress, you can do that to just relax yourself. I do that sometimes personally on my own, and then press on your hair. What you're doing is you're allowing the blood circulate to your hair. It also allows your hair to grow. What else? Key takeaways. Hair loss is often linked to hormonal changes, stress, poor hair care habits. The right diet, scalp care, and stress management can improve hair growth. Hydration, gentle products, and self-care is equal to the secret to long, healthy hair. So you need to manage your stress, manage the kind of things that you use on your hair, the products that you use on your hair, the right diet, scalp care, and stress management is very, very important. Hydrate, rest. Have your balanced meal. And then you're not only going to help your hair, you're also going to help you know. So now this is a moment for questions, and can ask your questions
Okay,
now.
so let me ask the questions that we have here.
Okay.
So some about coarse hair. How often can one retouch?
Okay, for ideally, I would say that you can do for coarse hair, you can do personally, I'll say you can do 3 times in a year because I know how
So that's like
very
every quarter.
difficult it can be. So yes, Kelechi, I can see your hand up.
Okay, yeah, I can see her hand up. Before she takes the
Please go
question,
on.
there's one.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
thank you so much. It's been a very insightful session. I've had natural hair for I think over 10 years.
Wow.
And yes, as a young girl, I had very thick and dense hair. So I never believed that I could carry natural hair. But I can't even imagine using relax on my hair now. Because of them, I think I've been able to understand the products to use on my hair and all of that. But my
Yeah.
question now is, I don't like sleeping with a bonnet. Is
Okay.
there any implication? Does it have any effect? I just like
Um,
to,
okay.
yeah.
If you don't like to sleep with your bonnet, that's fine. But the thing is, what you can sleep with a silk pillow. So instead of
Okay.
bonnet, you change your pillow to a silk pillow because what other fabric is doing is taking off the oil and the moisture from your hair. So by the time you're waking up, your hair is dry and all of that. So your hair needs that moisture and oil for it to keep being, in that beautiful state that it just maintains its growth or it keeps growing. So if you don't like hair bonnet, that's totally fine. You can switch it up with a silk pillow. Ensure that you use a silk fabric. It might not necessarily be a silk pillow. You can just get a silk fabric and cover it over your pillow
I
that
hope
you
in your
use.
head.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's it. Then my last question. My hair grows it grows full but not long. Is that normal? I have very full hair for
Okay.
my age, yes, but it doesn't grow long.
Long.
And I'm trying to gain length, yes, but it just is so full. It's like it's growing round, not long.
Okay. Like you said earlier, you said you have natural hair. So your hair
Yes.
shrinks. It's not like it's not growing.
Oh,
It shrinks.
oh, okay.
Yes, it's not like it's not growing because I don't think you've applied heat for you to see the texture or see the length of your hair. But I think that once you're able to maybe do a patch test and try and just do a patch test. What I mean by patch, you just take a little amount of your hair and try to stretch it out a bit. You will see that it's actually growing, but your hair just shrinks. My daughter
Oh,
hair
okay.
too is like that. It looks like it's not growing, but it just shrinks. That's it.
Oh, okay. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
You're welcome.
All right, there are two
I
people
can
who have
see.
their hands raised, but before then, we have one question in the chat box. Are there any tips for ladies who are who want to keep their hair low? And then someone also says, if I relax my hair, what can I do to get it back to the natural state without cutting it?
Oh, fantastic. I will answer the last question before the other question
Okay.
because, like I said, I've cut my hair 3 times in 5 years. So, one of the time I did not cut I did not cut my hair. So, like I said, your hair grows in phases. And so you're targeting the energy in the first stage of your hair because you want to take out your other hair. But it's a bit tricky to maintain and manage. However, what is happening is as that other one is growing out, the one that you have before, that's your permed hair, is coming off from its root, that's the hair follicle. There's a separation that will naturally happen. It must happen. So while that is happening, your hair is falling off and then the energy is growing. But you have to be patient because you're trying to manage 2 different kinds of hair textures. So,
Okay.
and some people it can be very, very painful because the hair, the undergrowth, the undergrowth hair because of our African kind of hair. So that means that you're managing, because you also want to maintain a look for your hair. I'm sure you don't want the upper one to be shabby because you're trying to grow the lower one. So remember, as I said, I don't know if you were here when I was sharing the slide, that there are different kinds of hair and different ways of taking care of it. So what you're doing is you're going to have to get products that target moisture, and you also have to get product that target shine, so that you don't lose the beauty of your hair. That way, when at the end, when your hair has grown to a certain level, you feel, oh, I'm comfortable enough, and I think I can get this off, then you can actually do that. But that way, you're giving it moisture and you're giving it shine. And the second question is, how do you take care of short hair?
Okay.
If it's styled, if it's, you're maintaining a style, there's something they call I think chemical press or protein heat press, silk press rather. When your hair is it in silk press or just natural hair? So there's a difference. There's silk press and then there's hair in the natural state. So there's also there are two different ways of maintaining hair in those different phases. So is your hair silk pressed? If it's silk pressed, there are products that you can use to continually maintain, your hair. Like I said, for silk press, it means that your hair has already been stretched. So you're targeting shine, and you're targeting shine and volume, because once your hair is stretched, it becomes very, very thin. So there's no volume. So you're going to target products like that. But if your hair is in the natural state, you're going to try to get products that make your hair to have moisture, hydration, to keep it beautiful, curly. You need to get curly products that keeps it curly. Please, not activators. Activators are very, very tricky if you don't understand how to use them. They can actually make your hair to fall off. So it depends on, is it silk pressed or is it natural? That way we'll know, okay, this is the exact product for you to use, and this is how to use the product, or this is how much you're supposed to, deep condition your hair. Was I able to answer your question, or if you have further question, that's fine.
Okay, so we have two hands up.
Hello. Sorry, before you take the two hands, I just wanted to
Yeah.
buttress on the question. Yeah, so it's natural but colored. It's not silk pressed.
Okay, natural but colored. You know that colored, even the coloring of your hair already has some chemical products as well.
Yeah.
So it already has chemical. There's already a little bit of processing to the hair, albeit it's not total. So
Yeah.
yes, to maintain this type of hair, what will help you is deep conditioning, because what those products is doing to your hair is drying out the moisture from your hair, so it's going to fall out and break. So what you need to do is you have to always ensure that your hair is moisturized, and you also have to be big on deep conditioning. However, we also need to also know how the texture of your hair is as well, so that we don't over deep condition and then allow your hair to over process protein. So, but you are going to be big on deep conditioning and moisturizing, because you have actually your hair is no longer in its natural form anymore. There's already a bit of chemical processing that's already going on, howbeit that it's partial. So you also have to be big on deep conditioning of your hair. It has to be part of your hair care routine. That's what you need to do. And then you have to also slow down a little bit on how much of coloring you apply to your hair. Allow your hair to grow out a bit. Let the fading happen a bit before you want to reapply those products. It will help, because constantly putting those products also affect the hair if you don't allow your anagen or your early stage of your hair to grow out.
Okay. Thank you. How often should deep conditioning be?
So
low hair.
for low hair, you can do as much as like that other one, like once a week is fine. But as a point, when you do once a week, because you're trying to get your hair to receive all the moisture that it needs, because your hair had to be dried out for it to, get to that point of it changing its natural color. But there's a point where you begin to notice that, oh, my hair is actually becoming very, very soft. You could feel the texture. It's not when it becomes too stringy, like too elastic, when there's too much elasticity in your hair, okay, I need to break down. You can cut down into twice in a month, and then you can cut down into once in a month. So, but you have to also follow how your hair feels. Did I answer the question well?
Yeah, you did, rather. Thank you.
You're welcome. So,
Okay.
staff.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah. Yeah, so I want to ask regarding the supplement, I won't call it supplements, the things you said that will aid our hair growth. You mentioned zinc. You also mentioned soya bean. I'm not too much of a fan of soya beans. I don't know if I can still go for my beans instead of the soya beans. And
Yes,
the milk they sell out in the market is not real milk, really. So what are the things that we can take that are more natural rather than milk? All these powdered milk are not real milk, to be honest. And then can I take cod liver oil, the capsules? Can I take that
yes.
instead? I know you mentioned fatty fish, and I think it contains omega-3 as well.
Okay. Like I said earlier, soybean, I just put it there because I wanted to also remember. It was my notes to make me remember, but I said while I was talking that any food that is in the legume family, soybeans, red kidney beans, yes, those you can have them if you don't like soybean. I don't like it as well, so I don't eat it.
But what food is high in zinc?
I think liver or fowls, I think.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. And then the front of my hair, I don't really have much hair at the front of my hair. So what steps can I take to grow the front of my hair?
Okay.
Somebody was advising me shea butter, or this shea butter, but I don't know how true that is.
Some people are allergic to shea butter.
Okay.
Some people are allergic to yes. Coconut oil. Some people are allergic to it. Like for example, the hairstyle that you have on at the moment is tugging at your nape. So you might have to want to, switch up on your hairstyle a bit. Because
in fact, the hairstyle was deliberate because I had to use this to cover the front of my hair, if you can see.
Because because you want to keep covering it, you keep tugging at it. So you have to allow it to be. It can be painful to, going through that process, but you have to be patient. You need to cut down on the braids and then allow the hair to breathe. Like, for example, see, this is my hair has serious undergrowth because, I've not retouched my hair. But see, this is my nut, and you can still plait this, but I didn't allow them to touch it. So you also, and even when my hair was bald, I showed you a picture when my hair was bald at the side too as well, but I didn't allow them to touch it. But you have to be patient and what you eat and then product that you apply on your hair as well.
Yes. You mentioned lavender oil. What other oil did you mention apart from the lavender oil?
There's lavender oil, yoyoba oil, there's coconut oil. Some people react to coconut oil. There is I don't know why this one is there's neem oil, your dogoyaro leaf tree, neem oil. I also have a product that can help you with your hair growth. I have a hair growth serum, can help you as well. You need to apply that on your hair. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. God bless
You're
you.
welcome. Amen.
Okay. All right, my turn.
Yes. Your turn.
Hold on, don't go yet. My turn. Thank you, everybody. So my question is, my hair is it has chemical in it. It's coarse, but I don't want to relax my hair. So what do I do? How do I soften it? Because I'm just tired of this coarse hair. It's too stressful. I have very tender scalp. I have tender scalp. Like right now we're in winter time. So winter time I use my wig all winter. So summertime I carry my low cut. But my natural hair is so coarse. I need to soften this hair. Please help me.
Okay. Another thing that I didn't put in the slide as well is weather conditions as well also affect how our hair is. You might be surprised that your hair is not even coarse. It's just the environment where you find yourself in.
My sister, her hair is coarse. I know. It's
Okay.
not because I'm not in Nigeria. I know that
Okay.
this one is coarse. Even before we left, my hair has
Okay.
been
All right.
coarse from Kekere.
Okay, that's fine.
Mm.
Because some people think that their hair is coarse and really it's just the environment. Okay, so like I said, deep conditioning is your friend.
Oh,
Deep
okay.
conditioning is your friend.
Okay.
And the product that you apply in your hair also matters. What kind
Okay.
of leave-in conditioners do you apply in your hair? Is your hair or do you apply oil in your hair? Is your hair moisturized? Is your hair hydrated? You know, by conditioning as well, you can also put your leave-in conditioner, put in one of this oil that I talked about, and like I have it here as hair boosters. So I've made it quite simple. So I made it quite simple. So this hair booster, what it does, you can just put it in your hair. So it's allowing it's also conditioning deep conditioning your hair at the same
Okay.
time. Not like but it's also keeping your hair moisturized. It's not dry. It's not what's the word? Trying to get the word. So, but the thing is, you have to always keep your hair hydrated and moisturized. So, like products like this can help. But if if you have already product that you were used to and all of that, but this product is really good. But if you have product that you're used to and all, let's get your leave-in conditioner, get a bottle of your oil and all of those things that I
Okay.
said earlier, and just always ensure that your hair is hydrated. Don't
Hydrated.
even
Okay.
your water, like I know I said that don't put too much water, but you're not packing water in your hair. You know how you just take your hair and just put a little bit of water, just ensure that there's hydration. And not only because you're putting water here, you're also drinking water. And it's also
Yeah.
getting it. Yeah, it will help
Okay.
us.
Okay. So your product is in Nigeria, right? How do we get your product now?
Oh, I ship as well. I ship to anywhere that you want. Just
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I will have to. Kashade will help me.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I'm here for you, no problem.
Mhm.
Yes.
So,
And then
any other question?
somebody also asked about castor oil when you were mentioning the oils that are good
Oh
for
yeah,
the hair.
castor
Castor
oil is
oil.
actually really good. Yes, it is. It is
Okay.
really good, but like I said, everything in moderation.
Okay.
It's not because they say like don't pack so much. And castor oil needs a carrier oil. So there are oils that they need something that
Yeah, because
would like
castor is
carry
very,
like the
very
name.
good.
Yes, like the name implies, it needs carrier oil, oils like jojoba, like coconut oil. It needs oil that will actually help to carry the product because it's very thick, is in a static form. So they need carrier oil to allow the oil penetrate into the hair shaft. So
Okay.
yes, so you
Yeah,
just
I'm thinking for those people that are not allergic, that don't react to shea butter, I feel
yes.
you could mix your castor oil. In fact, I'm ministering to myself now. So I'm gonna do it, and I will give you feedback. I'm gonna
Okay,
mix shea butter and castor oil and start using it for my hair.
okay. But the thing is, you know that shea butter also it's like it's I'm trying to remember the word now. I don't know, it skipped my head, but it's also you have to melt it to get the oil. It's not in a runny state.
Yes.
In
It's not in
solidified
the
state.
liquid state. Yeah.
So
Mm.
Mm,
you actually need carrier oils because
okay.
yes.
How
Except you
about
actually
coconut
make it oil. I think you can extract the oil from shea butter, right?
You can get shea butter.
oil?
Yeah.
Coconut oil is actually safe. It's
Okay.
actually it's very few people that react to it. Coconut oil is actually super safe.
Mm.
Okay. So, okay.
Thank you. Any other
Thank you.
question? Any other
Okay, I think that'll be
question?
all.
Okay, so if you want a personalized hair care routine or need put a recommendation, you have to go through and Sade. So she'll just get back to me and then I'll be able to, help with that. That's my gift to everybody here today. That's my gift.
Oh, thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you.
That's my
Please,
gift
what's
to
the
you
name
here.
of your product? The one that you
Carbon.
said that I need for my hair, the front of my hair.
Oh, carbon hair growth serum. Carbon
Okay.
hair growth serum. So
Okay.
yeah, but you can
I'm sorry, one more question. So those of us with short hair, coarse hair, so can we like moisturize our hair every day?
yeah, it's like natural hair, that's what it
Uh,
needs. Yes.
okay, every day, moisturize
Yeah,
every day.
moisturize your hair. Like
Okay.
the idea is that your hair is always thirsty. It's always looking like dry. It's always thirsty.
Yeah.
It needs that moisture, but the thing is, it's not supposed to be so much because when you overpack oil in your hair as well, it blocks the ducts in your hair that allows hair to grow out as well. So everything
Okay.
has to be in nutrition. So that's why I
Okay.
said that put it in like I've already done that. I've already done like the measurement and all. So you're not going to disturb yourself about, oh, what's the measurements? What do I need to do? Blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
So but if you want to do it like, oh, I have my own personalized, you can also get your own leave-in conditioner, your hair oil and all of those things. And then you can do that. Just a little bit of sprays on your hair and
Okay.
you and
Yeah,
ensure,
when I
sorry, I
used to,
forgot to
where I
add
used to,
this.
my
Thank you
doctor
for
used
the
to say
question.
maybe like
One of the
3 parts
places,
water, 1 part oil.
thank you.
Mm.
So one of the places that we notice is the exogen, the hair in the outer layer of your hair. So
Okay.
ensure that that place is also really moisturized and you're taking care of it because the anagen stage, yes, is growing and all of that, but we tend to focus more on hair than hair. But this place becomes really dry and then it starts to break. So also learn to apply product here. So the goal is to apply because so you don't forget, you apply from the end to the tip of your hair. So that's
Okay.
that way product goes in and it's incorporated properly.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're
Thank
welcome. So like I
you.
said, our hair is like a plant. It needs care and hydration. Don't expect your hair to grow without it. Don't say, but I bought this product supposed to work. What are you doing? How consistent are you? How are you using the product? What are you eating? How are you managing your stress? All of these things matter. How do you, as you're approaching menopause, are you taking green tea to block that testosterone from, going on overdrive? Are you trying to incorporate tomatoes in your meal? What are you doing? So those things also matter. There's some mothers say, my baby is not growing well. Are you feeding the baby? Are you feeding your baby? So those things also matter. And I think we have come to the end of our session. Thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
listening.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so,
so
so
much.
much. Thank you.
Thank
It
you.
was very, very
Thank you.
insightful. Thank you.
Thank
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 you.
you.
So
Thank you
Thank
so
our hair is
much.
our baby. We have to look after our hair.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you everyone for joining. I just want to reiterate what she said about, managing stress, processing your emotions and stuff like that, ensuring that your body is in homeostasis at all times. And that is why we have all these practices that we talk about on the group all the time. So if you're falling off your meditation habits, your prayer, your movement, your breathing exercise is very, very, very important. Just find time to do deep breathing daily. All of these things help to keep your system in balance. It's not just something that we only do for the 21-day challenge. It's something that's supposed to be part of your life, like your lifestyle. So if you've dropped those habits, pick them up again. Because you see how she said, it shows on your skin, it shows in your hair, it comes up everywhere, right? So let's just keep up with these habits to make our lives better so that we can thrive and, really be kick-ass moms as we should be. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Z. Thank you so much for honoring our invites. It was great to have you. So for those who want to
Thank
take up the consultation, do you have a number of people that you are giving it to?
At least the first 20 people is fine.
Okay, fine. So the first 20 people that show interest, just reach out to me, and then I would connect you to Z. And those who are interested in the serum, the hair product, that's what I use too for my hair. You can just also reach out to me and I will hook you up. Let me see. Yeah, so it's just thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, everyone. So have a fantastic night. Go and get your children ready for, go and get people ready for school. But apart from those who are empty nesters here, okay, like Kelechi and Co, the ones that are not empty nesters, go and get your children ready for school tomorrow. Bye. Wait, let's take picture. Show your face. If you can. Fumi, I can't see your face again. Okay, Kemi. For those of you that can show your
I'm
face.
coming now. We have removed wig though. When they say we should do myself.
Oh yeah, wear the wig. Oh yeah, wear the wig. Let's take the picture.
Let me wear my wig back. Let me put on my wig before you do picture. This is our winter now. Wow. Yeah,
the wig back on.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Let me this down.
Aha, welcome.
Yes, ma'am.
So everybody said cheese.
Cheese.
Okay, thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. Good night. Good night.